How we doing today, guys? So today, if you can't tell by the thumbnail, we're going to talk about SCP-049. Now, SCP-049, as you can see, is a plague doctor. We're just going to dive in a little, give you guys kind of a background story. We're going to go more in depth in the future about who he is per se, but mainly in the future we're going to go over the encounters of him and who other SCPs he's encountered and how that's kind of gone over with them. But for right now, sit back, relax, as always. Thank you for stopping by, and let's hop right into it. SCP-049 is a humanoid entity, standing at about roughly 1.9 meters in height, which bears the appearance of the medieval plague doctor. SCP appears to be wearing a thick robe with a ceramic mask, as is the profession of being the medieval plague doctor. His grommets instead have grown out of his body over time, though. They're nearly indistinguishable from whatever form is beneath. X-rays have indicated that SCP-049 does not have a humanoid skull structure beneath the outer layer. So basically, his mask and robe and cloak are one with him. They are one on his body and have grown to him, and he doesn't wear them like a costume or anything. SCP-049 is very fluent in all languages, his main ones tending to be English and medieval French. While SCP is generally cooperative, per se, with the Foundation staff, he especially becomes irritated at times, outright aggressive if not, in the presence of what he has called pestilence. Now, pestilence is a disease whose true attributes are only known to SCP-049. I'm going to attempt to throw a picture on screen here just to show you guys what our understanding of pestilence is. But it is described as an indigenous infection causing death and destruction to all infected by it. Despite the vague description of pestilence, there are many theories as to what it truly is. Now, I'm not really going to go over those theories right now. That is something we can do later in the future if you guys want. I can make a whole separate video on that. Trust me, with all the theories of what pestilence is, I can make a whole separate video on just pestilence alone. So we might dip our toes into that later. Now, 049 will become extremely hostile to anyone he deems infected with pestilence. This is very scary and very concerning, being the fact that he's not particularly a hostile entity. He can kill you with just a touch of his skin. So contact within his skin can kill you. He can walk up and just boop and you die and you just unalived right there immediately. Now, SCP has shown frustration, if not even remorse, for feeling sorry for the little he has done to try to cure pestilence. So through that, he will perform crude surgeries on corpses using implants contained within a black doctor's bag he carries on his person at all times, no matter what. While these surgeries are not always successful, they are often result in the creation of SCP-049-2. Now, before we get into the 049-2, we're going to take it back a little and get a little bit of a backstory, which will lead into what 049-2 is. So let's take it back a little and let's find out where this doctor came from. Now, SCP-49 was actually discovered during an investigation of Montauban in southern France. They were realizing that a lot of people were disappearing. People out of nowhere were just vanishing. This town that had a couple hundred population was shrinking and dying very quickly. Obviously, that's going to raise some red flags. It's going to cause an investigation with the SCP Foundation. So they came in, they raided it, they figured out they were trying to figure out what's going on, why people were disappearing, where's everybody going, what the hell is happening. And then upon that, they found an abandoned building that they discovered with SCP-049 within that building. Now, within this building, they discovered these zombie-like creatures, creatures that had no motor skills. They were only just walking around, didn't really know where they were, just brain dead. Just had no idea what the hell was happening or what the hell was going on. And 049 was just writing down notes in his journal. I'm assuming to find a cure for the pestilence or a way to better help with the pestilence and to improve within science. This is a man of science. I mean, taking notes, you're going to have some losses. Now, with that, I am going to show you guys an interview of SCP-049 and Dr. Raymond. And we're going to see how that goes and give you guys kind of a better understanding of this creature. Let me stop you right there before the Plague Doctor starts rubbing up on you. This video, I am going to tell you guys about SkyTech Gaming. I am affiliated with SkyTech Gaming. I love the company. I think they are amazing people, and they've helped me out with a lot of things within streaming and being able to film this video. I am filming this on my SkyTech Gaming PC. Me personally, I have a motherboard B550 with a 3080 Ti, 32 gigs of RAM, and 9 fans with a 360mm water cooler. You don't have to get one like me. By all means, you don't have to. But that sounds like a lot of money, and mine was a lot of money. It was up in the $4,000 range. But here's the thing. SkyTech allows you to do payment plans. So within the payment plans, I pay about $170 a month for my $4,000 PC. You do the math, that's a good deal. It is a 2-year agreement, and you just pay monthly. Now, if you don't know much about PCs or you just want to start getting into it, by all means, down below, ask a question in the comments. I'll get to it and answer as quickly as I can. Or follow me on my socials. All the links are down below. You can go down and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, anything, and just shoot me a question. Here's the cool thing, though. SkyTech offers the Mark III, Mark V, Mark 7, and Mark 9. The good thing about all of these is that if you don't know what components go with what, or you don't know like what you can mix with what, or what if you can get like a Ryzen 5 with a 3070, when you click one of these to build your own PC, it'll give you options only suited to that PC, so you can't get the wrong components and something go wrong. Now, if you don't want to do all that, they have amazing PCs. Like this week, the Cronus just dropped. They also have a Prison 2, a Blaze 3.0, which one of my friends just got. They love it. They says it runs fast, quick speeds, and it is amazing. They have beautiful PCs ranging from anything you want. They really please and touch up on anything that you're wanting within a PC. Any color, any scheme, any case, anything. Definitely go check them out. Top link in the description below to go do it. Have a good one.
Alors, comment devrions-nous commencer une introduction?
Is that French? Can we get a translator?
The King's English. No need for translation, sir. I can speak it well enough.
Good. My name is Dr. Raymond Ham, and I...
Ah, a doctor. A like-minded individual, no doubt. Wherein is your speciality, sir?
Cryptobiology. Why?
A medical man, such as myself. Wonders abound. And here, I worried I had been abducted by common street thugs. This place, then, this is your laboratory. I had wondered, as clean as it is, and with such little trace of the pestilence here.
The pestilence? What do you mean?
The scourge. The great dying. Come now, you know what is it they call it? No matter. The pestilence, yes. It abounds outside these walls, you know. So many have succumbed, and many more will continue to, until such time as a perfect cure can be developed. Fortunately, I am very close. It is my duty in life to rid the world of it, you see. The cure to end all cures.
When you say the great dying, are you talking about the bubonic plague?
I don't know what that is.
I see. Right, well, the entities our agents encountered at the house, they were dead when you encountered them, yes? You reanimated them.
In a manner of speaking, you see things too simply, Doctor. Expand your horizons. Life and death, sickness and health. These are amateur terms for amateur physicians. There is only one ailment that exists in the world of men, and that is the pestilence, and nothing else. Make no mistake, they were very ill. All of them.
You think you cured those people?
Indeed. My cure is most effective.
But the things we recovered were not human.
Yes, well, it is not a perfect cure, but that will come with time and further experimentation. I have spent a lifetime developing my methods, Dr. Ham, and will spend a lifetime more if necessary. Now, we have wasted too much time. There is work to do. I will require a laboratory of my own, one where I can continue my research unimpeded. And assistance, of course, though I can provide those on my own. In time.
Oh, I don't think our organization would be willing to...
Nonsense. We are all men of science. Fetch your coat and show me to my quarters, Doctor. Our work begins now.
So that was the interview between SCP-049 and Dr. Raymond. As you can see, SCP seems like a very chill dude. He seemed like he just chilling and he just, he just wants to find a cure. My man just trying to do work off the clock. Now, he did say he spent a lifetime trying to find a cure for the pestilence. Granted, I feel like my man could have did a little more, had made a little bit more progress within this, but I digress. With that, we have no idea how old this entity is. This entity could be older than time, or he could be just as old as time. But, no matter. Now, there are some notes that I did discover within the editing of this video, so I will be reading those off to you just so we kind of get a little more into it. I just discovered this doing a little more research into editing and rendering and getting everything done, so let's go over these real quick. While SCP-049 is capable of communicating in very human ways, there is a strange sense of unease that one experiences within his presence. Make no mistake, there is something very uncanny about this entity indeed. Additionally, we've confiscated a pointed stick that SCP-049 keeps waving around. Part of this was due to the standard confiscation of the protocols that are in the possession of anomalies. Part because 049 is really a menace swinging it around like he does. He's very displeased at first, but they gave the test subject the stick and let him have it, and then he warmed up to the idea of staying in containment and being within the Foundation and not out there killing people with his bare fucking hands. Now, 049 will spend days, if not months, doing experiments on these corpses that the Foundation has provided. I'm not going to ask where they find these bodies, but most likely they are Class D. They're Class D personnel that have, unfortunately, not survived instances with other entities or other anomalies, and they just kind of give them the leftovers of it. Now, with this, even if he is not successful in reanimating the corpse, he will still write notes and jot down what is happening within this journal of thick leather and keeping all his notes and everything within it. Now, there is another log or interview in SCP-049, so we will go over that too. You guys let me know what you think.
We've watched you work for several weeks now, and honestly, I'm not sure I understand what you're doing. Could you describe your process in detail?
Oh, goodness no. The process is most intensive. As I said to your assistant, the best instruction you will find about my methods are here in my journals, as I have kept exhaustive records of my work there.
Oh, I see. Well, my concern, Doctor, is that we still don't understand what you're seeking to cure, or how it manifests, or how turning these creatures into quasi-living, mindless drones helps in that effort.
You do not understand the pestilence, even after all this time. Doctor, it is an unspeakable horror, one that has shown its true face many times before, and will again. I find myself blessed with the wisdom and good senses needed to root it out and destroy it. But many, like yourself, cannot. It is a cruel judgment, I fear, to be at the mercy of a disease you cannot fully comprehend.
That still doesn't answer my question. How's your cure any kind of cure at all?
It is a cure. You may laugh at my efforts if you please, but do not besmirch the good name of scientific progress that has developed this great mercy. What you short-sightedly see here is a life better than any this creature could have hoped for. Stricken as it was with the pestilence, this creature is now clean, unable to spread the pestilence, and free from the terror it would have experienced otherwise.
This is hardly a creature at all, Doctor. It's not even...
Do not jape with me, sir. You and your colleagues are like so many others, unable to look past minor setbacks to see the salvation taking place before your very eyes. Do you wait to remove rotten timbers until the whole collapses on top of you? No. You find them and you pull them out and replace them with those untouched by rot. And most of all, you do not simply mock the structure because it now looks different to you. It is strong. It is free of disease.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to agitate you. I'm just trying to understand.
Yes. Well, do mind your words in the future, Doctor. I am a professional, but even professionals may feel the bite of pride in dealing with criticism of their masterpiece. I will forgive this as an act of good faith between colleagues.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that will be all. Another test subject on the usual schedule. You know my preference of subjects with more human anatomies.
Now, with that, through that interview, Dr. Ham performed numerous interviews with SCP-049, just trying to get a better understanding of who he is, what he does, and everything within that. This continued for several months, if not a year or so, being that it's been here this long, which is good. That means that we've kept 049 within containment for this long, which is amazing. I'm very happy about it. April 16th, 2017. Dr. Ham went into the test chamber of 049 to talk to him. 049 proceeded to ask Dr. Ham if he's feeling well, if everything's going okay, if his health is still doing very well, which you can kind of see where this is going. Within that, there was a struggle between Dr. Ham and 049, and then unfortunately 049 took Dr. Ham's life. Now, Dr. Ham didn't follow any protocol within entering the chamber. He didn't trip the emergency protocol. He didn't tell anybody who was going in for it. So for about 3 to 4 hours, Dr. Ham was just nowhere to be found. Later on, Dr. Thurman Sherman unfortunately found SCP-049 conducting experiments on Dr. Ham. Now, when they found Dr. Ham, it was too late, and Dr. Ham already fell ill to the pestilence and became as SCP-049-2. Now, the next interview we're going to go over is between SCP-049 and Dr. Thorne Sherman. So we're going to see how that goes.
SCP-049, you are being directed to explain your actions, and I will remind you that failure to cooperate will result in further restrictions during your containment.
My actions do not need to be explained.
You killed Raymond Ham, and then butchered him until
Not dead. No, not dead. He is cured.
Cured? Cured of what?
The pestilence, sir. I had thought you, at least, would realize what luck it is. I detected it before.
What pestilence? You keep going on and on about this pestilence, but you have not once been able to properly identify this disease. What could you have possibly seen in him today that you had not seen so many times before, that it would be worth his life?
The pestilence presents and progresses in unforeseeable fashions, and has a queer way of creeping into the unprepared. And call it what you want, Doctor. It was a mercy I did to him. He is cured.
He is a vegetable.
I would not expect you to understand. You and your ilk have proven time and time again not to be men of science, but men of emotion. You cannot appreciate the horrors I have seen. Those many millions who have succumbed to the pestilence and been changed.
Your cure cost Ray his life.
No, good sir. I have saved it. You would allow this world to slip back into the despair of disease and death, ignoring that I have created a miracle. And
What disease? What pestilence? He was a healthy man. He was a good doctor.
I'm offering it freely to the afflicted. You are not worth this argument, sir. You are short-sighted and foolish. Dr. Ham was sick, and I cured him. I am the only one who can do this. My work must continue. There is still so much to learn, so much
I've had
to
enough
do,
of this.
and others
Consider your allowances
can be
revoked.
saved. Even you.
Welcome to containment,
you do not
049.
deserve it. Might be saved.
We're done here.
I can save them all. I can cast down this plague once and for all. I can do this. Only me. I saved him. Dr. Ham. I cured him. He was sick. I know he was sick. I know he was. And you are all sick, but I can save you. I can save all of you because I am the cure.
So within the interview of 049, there's also another interview that we're going to go over. It's the last one. It is about the incident report that happened on April 16, 2017. This one was conducted by Dr. Elijah. Now, Dr. Elijah does go in kind of deep, and we're going to get a little bit more story, and then we're going to wrap this up.
SCP-049, we are conducting this interview to close out our investigation of your actions taken on April 16th that resulted in the death of a staff member. Do you have any comments to make?
Only that I look forward to the day when you will allow me to resume my work. I have spent the last few weeks compiling my notes and constructing a new theory for how the pestilence was able to infect someone in such an insidious manner that I nearly couldn't detect it.
Have you experienced any remorse for your actions? For the death of Dr. Ham?
Ah, yes. Well, the death of a colleague is always regrettable, but in the face of the pestilence we must be swift, Doctor, and act without hesitation.
Dr. Sherman noted in his report that you seemed to be mournful during your initial interview.
Mourn? Perhaps. I had not thought that. It is lamentable that a fellow doctor became infected, but the work continues. Regrettable as it was, Dr. Ham's death provided important insight. Living human subjects are the only way to proceed forward, I am decided. My cure is of little use on dead flesh, and I have gleaned all I can from your generous supply of corpses. My desires turn towards tending to those still living who suffer from the disease.
I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed.
Oh, Doctor, I wouldn't be so sure.
Now, as you can see from that, SCP-049 does feel emotion. He feels remorse. He feels sad. He does not like that he had to take Dr. Ham's life. As you can tell in the interview before, he actually, to a point, I believe, feels bad. And he wants to cry out for his colleague that he had to take. Is it make him better? I mean, it makes him show that he understands human life and that he has emotions similar to ours when it comes to taking another life. I like that for the fact that that is a good quality to have within an entity so powerful as SCP-049. I mean, the man can kill you touching you. I'd want him to be my best friend. I wouldn't want him to touch me, but I wouldn't want to be on his bad side. Because you can see, as is, he's detected sickness. No matter who you are or what he has to do, he will do everything means necessary to cure this pestilence and to rid it of the world. A little more about SCP-049 before we wrap it up. Just some stuff to help you guys better understand him. So the cloak and robes and mask he wears is made of a thick hide, almost like callus on a skin. But it seems to have been grown out of his body. That's where it's not a costume. It has grown out of his body and become one with him because it is him. He also, SCP-049, has stated that he originates from 15th century France. Little funny, he admits that the traveling was particularly pretty well. Now, one thing that has always piqued my interest within SCP-049, something that's always kind of made me question a lot, is his bag, his doctor's bag. He has been seen pulling out objects bigger than the bag can hold. The SCP Foundation believes that it is a void. It is a black hole, and whatever is needed to perform the seizure, he just pulls out of this hole. Because he has pulled out objects that cannot fit in the bag and should never be able to be within the bag. 049 is that he does not require the same means to eat or drink as we do as human beings. He does say that he very much enjoys food and he enjoys the quench of water, but he by any means does not need that to live or to keep going every day. He doesn't need sleep, he doesn't need to eat or drink or anything. He doesn't need nothing. He is the same way and the same motivated and everything every day without any helps of nutrition or protein. The last thing I'll touch on with SCP-049 is his journal. SCP-049 doesn't write in words or any known language, and he attempts to write them in logistics and code breakers. So deciphers, kind of like Egyptian era symbols. He writes it down into a way that only he can understand and only in a way that he can break the code for the understanding of the research. I'm going to say he does this so no one steals his ideas or no one tries to twist what he's trying to do. If I had to be honest, that's the only thing I can think of that he's doing or why he's doing it. It's just so no one can steal his ideas. It seems very vague, but that's really the only thing I can come up with myself. So that was SCP-049, everybody. So by far, my people, best SCP. Best one, by far. Not in the sense of, like, murderous intentions or in the sense of, like, he could take over the world. He's my favorite in the sense of what he truly believes in and what he does. He doesn't kill people to do it. He's not killing people because they pissed him off or because they made him angry or because they looked at him wrong. He is actively trying to find a cure for what he truly believes is a deadly disease, which is this pestilence. We'll go over more about the pestilence in future videos. We'll kind of break down the theories and go over the theories of that in that way. But no, by far my favorite one. I love him, honestly. I have nothing against the man. He's doing what he's doing, and he's leaving me alone, so it's a big plus. He ain't touching up on me. But yeah, no, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, please, please, please go down and make sure that subscribe button doesn't have any pestilence on it. And then make sure to hit the bell notification, or the Plague Doctor might come touch you. Just saying. If you haven't liked the video, it really helps with the algorithm and gets me out there. We're still a new channel. That's why this is kind of choppy. We're going to get better in the future. We're coming up with ways to do it. If you haven't already, if you don't know about it, I do stream over on Twitch. And I do have a dancing and a gaming YouTube channel. If you guys want to go subscribe to them, go check them out. That'd be amazing. We're going to try to get a schedule going here. Probably going to post every Tuesday to Thursday. Is probably going to be my posting days. We're going to see how it works out. We're going to go from there. And we're just going to give a little roll. Besides that, guys, thank you so much. Have a good one. And GG's.